And hello again. We have made it to Murren, and when I say made it, we just about made it. Murren is a little town, little village that's situated up in the Swiss Alps, but you can't drive to it. So there are two ways to get to this place. One, foresty Alpine Trek, which, given the fact that we got to this place at about 8 o'clock, not ideal, because I think the trek is, medium to high difficulty. Well, probably more medium, but it does take about 4 hours, I think. And the other one is a gondola and then a train. Okay, we made it to the gondola 8 minutes before the last gondola left. So if we missed that one, we'd be sleeping in the car park in the car. But yeah, we made it. So day one, we're actually heading back down to Lauterbrunnen, which is where you park up your car and you can drive down there. And then tomorrow we'll stick around here and we'll probably head further up. So let's grab the train and explore, because there's a lot to explore. Okay, so the famous waterfall that you always see when you see anything about Lauterbrunnen is just behind us there. It does look like there's a path going up to it, so we'll go and have a look. But yeah, the place is absolutely amazing. It's situated in a valley, so you're surrounded by steep mountains essentially, and you can just see the snow-capped peaks all over the place. Amazing. Okay, top tip number one. If you're planning to come to the viewpoint over there by the waterfall, which is just higher up there, the one with the wooden benches, that. Now, considering it's August, only a few months after everywhere just went into full-on lockdown, it still does get pretty busy, and it's 11:15 right now. So if you're coming potentially high season or when there's no travel restrictions in place for people and so on, yeah, you're gonna encounter crowds and queues for that bench for a photograph, so just something to bear in mind. In the meantime, we are going up the little path which should take us to the waterfall, and maybe even behind it, I don't know. We'll find out. Epic. So yeah, when you go up the to the main waterfall, as you walk up, it's going to take you through a tunnel, and then you're going to walk along, well, it's basically just about on the inside of a hill, with every now and then you get a gap in the rocks, and you can look out. There's a barrier outside, so you're not going to fall out. It is a little bit wet, so if you worry about getting your hair wet or something, then yeah, make sure that you've got something to put on top. But essentially you get to a point and then you can't really go any further, and at that point you're pretty much underneath the main part of the waterfall, obviously low down, and then you just turn back and walk back the same way you have come up. So what we've done is we've come back to the road, which is just at the bottom of the waterfall essentially, and we're carrying on further deeper into the hill, into the valley, and the main peaks that you can see along here are just over there. So we're heading in that direction, but first we stopped off at, well, we were looking for a shop, but the closest we managed to find on our way was the campsite, and the campsite's got a shop, so we went in. So we're having a Swiss lunch, which is mainly dairy / chocolate based, but you know, Swiss local cuisine. So yeah, we'd hate to be insensitive and not try local stuff, but I do want to give a shout out to the campsite, because it looked amazing. Like, I'm happy with our hotel room, and I'll show it to you later at the end of this video, but the campsite looks awesome, and I would definitely like to come and stay there. They've got a restaurant, a shop. Shop is really well stocked. They had like a kebab / hot dog truck there as well, and the location is just breathtaking, honestly. The hillside where the main waterfall is, which is behind the camera, just over there, you can't see, but yeah, it's just littered. There's a lot of waterfalls there. Lomo, I think. So yeah, the plan is, once we've had our chocolate fix / lunch, we'll carry on in that direction, and we'll see what else we can find. But yeah, it's such a relaxing place. Okay, so I've got one problem with this place, and that is that it just makes me feel like an overexcited tourist. And by that I mean, you know, if you go somewhere that you're really familiar with, but it happened also to be a touristy destination, and you see all people just sort of walking around. It's usually Chinese tourists. Just walking around taking pictures of absolutely everything. You're like, it's just a hut. It's like, there's nothing special about it. But yeah, you're here and it's literally like that. You just walk around and everything, absolutely everything. I mean, the view, look, that's what we're heading for now. I don't think we'll make the top, by the way. But yeah, you just walk around and absolutely everything looks like it's worth taking a photograph of or putting on a video. Usually when we walk around, when we go hiking, what I do is I take a clip and then I would basically put the camera and gimbal away, just carry it in my hand, completely switched off, screen pulled in and everything. Whereas here, I do that, switch the mic off, pull the screen in, you walk 10 meters down the road and it's like, I need to open it again because it's just something else comes up and you're like, that's amazing. Yeah, awesome place. And time just seems to really slow down. You know, when you go to a place and it's just so peaceful, so relaxing. It's just awesome. So we just carry on walking, we're walking still in the same direction, and over there is a river, just a nice alpine watery, well, it's a river so it's watery, yeah. White clear water, and then you look this way and there's yet another waterfall. So yeah, there's, once you get like the 5th or the 6th one, you just stop counting. But yeah, along this, they're on both sides, but on this side, which is where the cable cars, gondolas are, most of them anyway, that's where most of the waterfalls are. But yeah, spectacular, and there's hardly any cars, so the sounds that you tend to hear is water or water, river or waterfall. Oh, so refreshing. Oh, this place is so beautiful, honestly. It's like, it's amazing for hiking, it's amazing for photography, it's amazing for video. Hope I do it justice, at least to some extent. But yeah, so far for us, it's turning out to be more of a photography trip rather than a hiking trip. And yeah, no regrets, because it's once you're in Lauterbrunnen, if you go for a walk and you stay level, you can stay level for hours. You don't, you know, you're in a mountainous region, but you don't need to be hiking uphill. So if you're not all that fit, if you're not comfortable with scaling peaks and going up hills, you can still come here and have a fantastic time. And I'm pretty sure you can also rent electric bikes. And if you don't have experience with electric bikes, then essentially they do the cycling for you. You put it into electric mode and there's hardly anything you need to do. So yeah, definitely check out a rental place. But yeah, it's cameras out, waterfall behind us, and firing off shots. And there's more to come. This is what you call relationship goals. So we got as far as we can really get today, given the speed at which we're going, because we're stopping off for photographs quite regularly. So basically the further along the trail you go, the narrower it gets, and the fewer people carry on following it. I mean, it is lockdown, COVID lockdown, so there's not that many people about, but I imagine under regular circumstances this place would be heaving. But we got to this point, we saw that amazing view framed with those, you know, V-shaped mountains, valley thing, and I think that's gonna be a really good shot to end this part of the day with, because there's still more to come, and that's going to make more sense when we show you where we're staying. The room itself isn't all that special, but there's something about it that is really special. But yeah, so we're going to end it like this. 2 tripods, Swiss Alps, and a snow-peaked cover, snow-peaked mountain tops in the background. It doesn't get much better than this. Okay, so now, as promised earlier, let me tell you a little bit about the hotel and more specifically the room, because yeah, it's a bit of a not one that you may necessarily go for straight away. But so the hotel looks a little bit dated, I'll be honest. The rooms are relatively small and fairly basic. So you're not going to get that. You're not going to get amazed by what you get for your money in terms of the room itself, because there's just not much to it. But then again, if you're coming here to spend your time in the hotel room, then you're probably doing it wrong. But you may think that because of it, we'd be quite disappointed about the room. But we're not. And the reason for that is what's behind there, behind the curtain. And that is the balcony. So let me show you the balcony and what's outside. Okay, so this is technically a 3-star hotel, I think, and you can get a 4-star hotel a little bit further up, not much, a little bit further up, and you think, well, further up surely is better because you get a better view. Well, not really, because what happens is when you're further up, the first thing you can see in your foreground is the roofs of buildings like the one we're in at the moment. Whereas when you look out the balcony over here, well, there's nothing there. So you get an unspoiled view out onto the mountains, and yeah, it's exactly what you want. So even though on the room itself you may compromise, it's relatively expensive for what you get in terms of the room itself. The view from this room is absolutely amazing. So if you're coming here, if you're thinking of coming here, and you want this room, what you need is Hotel Alpine, and you want the room with the mountain view, which you pay a little bit extra for, but it's worth it. Purely for that view. And in the evening, when everything's shut and there's nothing to do, you can come to your room, sit on the balcony with the feet up and just admire this amazing scenery, this panorama just extending right in front of you. And like I said, because it's right on the edge of the hillside, nothing else to spoil your view.